May I come in, sir?
Please come in.
Good afternoon, sir.
Very good afternoon. Please sit down.
Thank you, sir.
Your good name is Rajat.
Yes, sir.
Rajat, you are from Kanpur.
Sir, I am from Siddharth Nagar. I was
Okay.
born in Kanpur.
You were born in Kanpur. Okay, tell us more about yourself.
Sir, I, Rajat Yadav, as I said, come from Siddharth Nagar district in Uttar Pradesh. I have done my B.Tech in Civil Engineering from IIT Delhi. At IIT, I was involved in a number of cultural activities and held top leadership positions. I interned at JSW, where I won the Best Intern Award. After college, I worked as a management consultant for a while. And sir, as a person, I love being with people, interacting with people, outlearning myself. My hobbies are graphology and dancing, and I'm also a medalist in Taekwondo.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
What is the significance of Taekwondo now in the present day society? Other than the professional benefit, tell us about the more social benefit.
Sir, Taekwondo helps in gaining more and more discipline, sir. So, as an art, ever since its inception, Taekwondo has been promoted as discipline of mind and body. Even its meaning, Taekwondo. One is Taekwondo, meaning kicks, punches, and discipline. And another is to step over the urge to fight, which is another meaning. So basically, it helps in a meditative approach towards life. It is like a meditation, sir.
Okay. As you mentioned that you work as an intern with PwC, right?
Yes, and also JSW, sir.
And also JSW.
Yes, sir.
Tell us more about company as PwC as a company. How was your experience of working with PwC and PwC in general as a company?
Sir, the experience was good because it was my first experience anywhere outside normal academic life. Also, the company is quite a great name. It is one of the big four. And it is a big company in the sense it has more than 3 lakh employees. And I'm forgetting the turnover, but it is quite large. Also, sir, my job, which was in strategy and has been acquired by PwC in 2013. It was earlier called Booz and Company. So PwC now has strategy consulting wing as well, whereas its primary verticals are tax technology, digital technology, and of sorts.
And how was your experience with JSW?
So it was quite good, and I even won an award there. It was a corporate strategy intern, so it was my first experience in market entry kind of a project.
Okay. Big Fours in India are considered as high. They charge very highly inflated prices. So if an Indian company can make the product in X, they usually charge 3x, 4x, 5x. How was your experience working inside the PwC? Do you agree with this?
Sir, I think it is justified because in the first place, the clients are willing to pay that much. And there is a proper bidding process in which RFPs are floated, request for proposal, and different consulting firms compete for that. So it is a competitive bidding. And I think the price factor is because they bring in a lot of expertise, sir. And even like people from IIT, then more specialized people from IIMs. So I think from that point of view, they play a big role. So they might be charging for that.
There can be somebody from an ordinary college and provide you the same strategy.
Certainly, sir. So they put in that kind of effort in training their employees. So there might be some costs in that. They have linkages with various research specialists. So they have to pay them a lot by the hour. So I think they are trying to recover those costs.
The research is fine, but that is not replicated on the ground. The world faced various challenges where all these big four fails. 2008 crisis, after that also, now also.
Sir,
So there is no accountability for that high charges as well, right?
sir, I'm not aware of the exact charges and how high they are, so I cannot comment more. But
Haven't
certainly they
created-
have not been able to address even COVID pandemic.
Yes.
After that, sir, in fact, for example, PwC has adopted a new approach called New Equation 2030, in which they are deploying more and more ESG focus, environment, social governance, which was earlier lacking a bit.
But according to me, all these talking about environment, ESG, etc. analysis is just for the sake of discussing it. Do you think anybody is working to save environment? Especially the developed countries and their companies?
No, sir. From companies' point of view, sir, there are certain steps, maybe because of in search of existence only, but the major push needs to come from developed countries, as you rightly said, sir. So on a global platform, we are seeing that commitments are made, but they are not fulfilled. Let's say climate finance, $100 billion was promised at Paris, but it has not been being fulfilled. And going forward, to achieve the net zero targets, we need more and more hundreds of trillions of dollars.
Okay. Recently, PwC has also did a big layout of employees. Layoff.
Sir,
Are you aware of that?
Sir, I'm not aware, but it must be in line with the mass layoffs happening.
Why these mass layoffs are happening now? What is so bad which is about to come?
Sir, I can think of two things. Firstly, they did a lot of overhiring during COVID. So they are hence laying the workers off. And ever since two disruptions like COVID pandemic and Russia-Ukraine war, companies have to turn more prudent. They have to prove to their shareholders that their costs are competitive. So they want to reduce the wages cost. So that is one thing, sir.
Okay, and anything else? And what will be the role of India? Recently, World Bank has released a report in which India will have the highest growth rate. And there are least chances that India will face recession. Are you aware of that news?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is the expected growth rate?
Sir, according to different bodies, according to India, it will be around 7%. And IMF and World Bank have it around 6 point something. I'm forgetting. It was earlier something, then they downgraded it a bit. But we upgraded our forecast.
Okay.
They termed us as a bright spot.
Okay. In corporates, we have heard the concept of or the issue of gender gap. So, do you think that the issue of gender gap is in MNCs as well? How was your experience with PwC and JSW and other companies?
Certainly, sir. There is gender gap. In fact, quite a huge gap. For example, during my job at Strategy and there were 4 partners, all were male. There were 6 directors, all were male. So, especially towards these higher rungs of organizational structure, I think there is a need for more and more women, because only then the overall policies can be driven in that direction. So I think a couple of years back there was a report that on the CXO level strata there is a lot of gender gap. I'm forgetting the number, but that needs to change, and it is evident in MNCs.
So you have quite rich experience. You come from a very good IIT of the country. Why haven't you decided to continue it in that stream and join the civil services?
Sir, the prospects there are quite good, but I think we get one life, and I want to be a part of state, which is basically a concept that has evolved over thousands of years, and it carries with itself a lot of things, ranging from power to authority to the ability to do public good, sir. So this is first point. And second, sir, as I said, I love being with people. I love interacting. I like learning new things. I think that will, apart from diversity of industries one gets to work for, I think in civil services one gets to interact with a diversity of people. So I think that is another plus point. And thirdly, sir, I have been in such roles at college, and I have enjoyed such roles. So I think it would be a good fit.
So why you haven't decided that thing at the time of your college?
Sir, because I was not sure, I believe that one should always explore the options before taking such a major decision. And also, we were quite young at that time, and as this is an aspirational thing, I think for a 11th for a student in class 11th to aspire for IITs.
Okay. A civil engineer in IIT Delhi. How will you use that knowledge of 4 years?
Sir, I see this as two parts. First civil engineering, then IIT Delhi. So the knowledge of civil engineering can come in handy, not too much on the implementation level because people will be implementing, but on an understanding basis. For example, 7-8 years back, I used to live in Ghaziabad. So the head of GDA there, the IAS officer, was well adept in civil engineering, and he used to be quite well versed in the kind of projects that used to have. It used to get a lot of media attention. Second, sir, this is more of an understanding basis. And second, my time at IIT has also helped me gain the skills to compete in a competitive, high stress environment. During my time as a student politician there, I also learned how to persuade people. I learned from a lot of people. I think that kind of an environment has made me equipped to learn more and more. And
do you think politics should be allowed in colleges?
Sir, I think it should be, but reforms need to happen. Like in our college, political parties are not allowed, which is in line with the recommendations of Lingdo committee.
But there's several other colleges, it is there in universities, it is there.
Sir, so I think that should be incorporated in other colleges too, because in our college it was quite it was a good affair because political parties were not there. Even a lot of expenditure did not used to happen. It was clearly putting forward one's points, debating, and the whole concept of dialectics come here and persuading people very intelligently. I think it gives a much needed sense of responsibility in young students.
Okay. We have seen that recently the usage of social media by both the politicians also as well as the bureaucrats has increased. Tell us more about the more usage of bureaucrats using social media. Whether it is a good process, whether it is a good step or not a good step.
Sir, I think it is a good step because firstly, I see this as civil servants can become more responsive. For example, in Mumbai police, people tweet like a couple years back, they used to tweet whatever any nuisance is happening. They used to click photos and tweet. So that is one area. Then
that was not a tagging of an individual IAS or IPS officer. That was the institution which they were tagging, not the bureaucrats.
Sorry, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, so for individual bureaucrats, I think it is still good, but it should not become a medium for self-advertisement, because at the end of the day, civil services has to be anonymous. So the work that they are doing should be...
But you mentioned that one of the civil engineer of Noida who became an IAS.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, in Ghaziabad. He got a lot of media attention.
Yes, sir. I was talking about printed media.
Okay.
Not very much social media. In fact, even today, that officer is not on social media.
Okay, tell me one more thing, that you are a student of PSIR.
Sir.
How the soft power can be quantified? How to measure soft power?
Sir, I can think of few points. Firstly, the number of engagements with the outside world in terms of tourist visas, that can be one thing. Then, sir, the diaspora in general. Let's say India has a diaspora of more than 30 million people. So that itself is a quantification of the soft power, because ultimately they are the frontiers of disseminating our culture abroad. That is second thing, sir. Then third is kind of the number of cultural centers we have. For example, China has Confucius centers. We have the Nehru Center in United Kingdom. So that is also another thing. And so next, if we see across the segments of soft power, let's say movies, so how are our movies performing? For example, PK performed in China. What is our share in global sports? Like in cricket, we are doing good. In Olympics and Commonwealth, we are slowly gaining that prominent stage. I think these are some points, sir.
Okay. Your father is engaged with which PSU?
Sir, he is an Indian Railways proper.
He is with Indian Railways.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell us how Indian Railways more efficiency we can have more efficiency in Indian Railways.
So more efficiency.
Okay, tell me what is the operating ratio of Indian Railways?
Sir, it is around 98 point something.
Which shows that railways are not efficient, right? Do you agree with this?
Sir, I am not aware of the efficiency metrics of railway right now.
But of course, as a student of economics, you must be aware that efficiency is measured through various criteria. One of the criteria is how much money we need to spend to get some money. So if 98% is the operating ratio,
yes, sir.
So I don't think so. It's an efficient organization.
Certainly, sir. I have some views. I think, sir, this can be improved by firstly having such tracks that our speed is increased, having a broadening of tracks, which is another aim in this year's budget. Then, sir, having warehousing for freight, for example, Gati Shakti cargo terminals. This can help. And, sir, I can think of these only, sir. I'm sorry.
No issues. Anything else which you want to share with us?
Sir, I think these are the major points. Other than that, like I can talk about my hobbies.